Hey Homoesapiens and Marbites, it's me, Rogue Marby Scott. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back any new subscribers or watchers. And well, you can clearly see that I've done something really out of my zone right now. So today's look was kind of inspired by, well, I've been watching a series on Netflix. It is called Love, Death and Robots, and when I was binging last night, so basically I got to this episode where there are spirits in it, and it's based in, like, I think in China or Japan, I can't remember, but one of the spirits was the spirits were women who were foxes or something like that, and whatever. After watching that, I decided, you know, I'm gonna go and look at some geisha and some ancient Chinese pictures and videos and stuff like that. And obviously, being Planet Marbasia, I thought, how can I mix this with Planet Marbasia? So yeah, went to sleep and had a dream of me being on Planet Marbasia, which isn't actually a real place, but it's here, real, on YouTube. And all of the Marbasians were blue, and they looked like geishas, but they were all male and looked androgynous male. So this is why I kind of pieced everything together. Little story, you know, how some makeup looks just come together. You know, you just have a weird and wacky dream or whatever. My teeth look really yellow on camera. Maybe it's the lipstick. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to know how I got this look, I was gonna say keep watching, stay tuned. So to start off with, I'm using the iMagic Professional Cosmetics 12 flash color case, and I'm using the more natural tones rather than the vivid tones, and I'm using the kind of eggshell color to paste all over my middle of my face. Now, as you can see, it looks very white on camera, and because of the shine and coloring of this makeup, the lighting is going to be in and out, so forgive me for that. I should have put more lights up, but I'm only using my ring light today. So as you can see, I've already created my shape that kind of looks like the start and beginnings of a sugar skull, and then I'm going to go in with a turquoise from the first palette that I normally use to do, and I'm just placing that all over the parts where I have no white, and that's going to be my base color before I go on to contour. Now when I use this makeup palette, should I say, I have to powder a lot. Anyway, going on with the dark blue of the palette, I'm now just creating the contours of my face as I would kind of normally do, kind of, if I'm contouring. But this just looks very crazy because it's not blended out, so just going to continue to place everything where I need it. Then I'm going to use two different sponges. So one sponge, I'm going to blend out the darker portion into my skin, and then I'm going to use another sponge to blend out the lighter, whiter parts of my look, just so that the colors don't bleed into each other too much, but the blend is also, you know, semi-quasi seamless, because this is kind of hard to work with, especially if you're in a cold environment, and I chose to be in a cold environment because these this palette kind of slips and slides before you set everything. So yeah, you've got to just be kind of aware of that if you're going to use that palette. I'm not even too sure how it is to the what's that palette called again? Makeup Forever flash palette. I'm not even too sure how it holds up, but basically it is a dupe, so I'm assuming they're the same. So as you can see here, I'm contouring my nose with that dark blue, going in very thinly, and I'm using that same sponge that I used to blend out the darker parts, and then I'm going to go in with a white and just go onto the bridge of my nose, just to make my nose look fresh cut and snatched, because we don't want that blurry, muddy look. So I'm just blending in that white just to make everything prominent. Going in with a blue eyeshadow, I'm now going to further contour my nose to give it a softer contour, and then after I'm happy with that contour and brushing it up into my eyebrows and everything, I'm going to go in with a white just to cut that contour that I've already placed. As you just saw there, I did put some of that eyeshadow underneath my nose tip just to make my nose tip appear to be smaller than it normally is, as you can see right here. Just blending that out and making sure that it looks fine. Here is the part where I'm going in with the white eyeshadow just to bring in my underneath of my eyes and just to snatch that nose a little bit more. Moving on to the blush portion of my face, I'm now going to use that same brush that I've cleaned, kind of, and you know, just place a nice pinkish tone, and I'm just going to use it right underneath my eyes where my pupils are, and just, you know, create a semicircle all the way up to my outer V shape of my eyes. Blend that out, and then I'm going to set that in place once again with some powder. Now what you don't know and what you haven't seen so far is that I've already set my face once already, because yeah, if I didn't, that pink would have not gone on the way that I wanted it to go on. Going in with a very dark blue that almost looks black on camera, I'm just, you know, roughly, you know, creating this big wing. Sorry, I just burped, but you didn't hear it, so that's fine. And yeah, my wing was kind of inspired obviously by geishas, but it was also inspired by the black swan. Once I've done that wing, as you can see, I'm going in with a yellow, very roughly with a fluffy brush also. The eye look is not supposed to be, you know, dramatically pretty. It's supposed to just be placed on there. Yes, it should be blended, but it should just be placed on there. I don't want this to look immaculate whatsoever, because I don't feel like the look would have came off very authentic if it was too immaculate and perfect. Now as you can see, I'm just using some cards, and wow, that just skipped really fast, but I use some cards just to sharpen up that blend. Anyway, going down my neck and contouring my neck and blending it with the same brush that I did with my face, you know, the dark blending sponge, and I'm then gonna go down the sides of my neck to make my neck look a little bit slimmer before I move on. Now here I'm just going to use a sponge, any of the sponges, I don't know which one I picked up, but I'm just going to use the excess of the blends that I've got on a plate in front of me just to cover up my ears, because the look wouldn't be the look if I didn't do my ears. Going in with a very thin detailing brush, I'm going to now go in with the same pink that I've used for blush, and I'm going to, you know, create my eyebrows. And because my eyebrows are very sparse on the ends, I can kind of get away with not pasting them down with any sort of glue or adhesive or whatever, because, you know, if I start off from my natural brow and just continue to go up, it's not going to be as noticeable if I do it correctly. And as you can see, I'm being very precise in what I'm doing with these brows today, because this makeup, if you smudge, you're messed up. And clearly a lot of powder goes onto my face before I dust that off. And as you can see, as I'm dusting it off, nothing is blending into anywhere, so a lot of powder is needed. And you can wet your face afterwards, but I wouldn't recommend it, because once you warm up, the sheen of the colors will come back, but they won't move. Going in with a purple, I'm just going on my lash line, then my lashes will be on very soon, as you can see. And I'm going to create my lips now, and I'm using a red from the palette to create the shape of the lip, and then I'm going to go in with that pink that I've used, and then I'm going to go in with a yellow. Now doing these lashes on camera was a bit tricky, so clearly I just did it off camera, and that is it for now. So happy with that lip blend that I've got going on there. I'm just dipping my fingers into some translucent powder, which I've been using all over my face, and then I'm just, you know, putting that on my lips. Then I decided, you know what, let's go into some black and put some beauty marks on before I finish this look. And then I'm going to highlight my nose, because when I want to, you know, do my photos, I want that nose to pop. I want that chin to pop. So that's what you see here, and that's the end of the video, guys. So guys, that's how I got the look. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And anyway, I'm gonna go now, and I'll, like I said, see you in the next video. Bye. That is so weird. Rogue Marbie